Hi, Demetrius. Welcome. Welcome.
Hi, welcome. Can I read an old favorite?
Yes,
Okay, okay.
please.
I get myself into trouble because I try to read these things from memory, and then I get, I don't know, either nervous or still of mind, and I forget the words.
Why don't you try and read it from memory and you can have it in front of you if you forget.
Mm-hmm,
Do you want
mm-hmm.
to do that?
Yes.
Yeah. You're among friends, so you know, you're very welcome to mess up with us.
I can't hear
Please.
anyone laughing at me, so.
Perfect.
Okay. When to the rattle of the three drums and the sound of the three modes of the Tamil tongue, I entered the courtyard of the Lord, who, as my teacher, rested his holy feet upon my head. That king amongst ascetics graciously accepted me as his own kinsman, raising me to that great and noble estate in which I praised him as his devotee.
Thank you, Demetrius. Thank you. And if I may, well done.
Thank
Well
you.
done.
Thank you.
And I don't think anyone was laughing.
I had my eyes closed, so I don't know.
Very
Oh,
wise.
wait, I'll check the tape. No, I won't because it will be
That's it.
just you.
Oh, yes, that's right. No, I think we're all, well, I'll speak for myself. I'm blown away like that. Again, thank you, Demetrius. Thank you so much. And where are you reading from, please? Or where is
This,
that?
this is from Guru Ramana Prasadam. Is that right?
Yes.
Verse 510.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Shri Guru Ramana Prasadam is the name of the text. Shri Guru Ramana Prasadam. Did people hear Demetrius? Would anyone like me to read it? A couple of people. Okay. I am absolutely terrible at remembering things like this. Now, I could repeat it 10 times and still not remember it properly. It's wonderful that I know a few of you have learnt a few verses, whether it's the invocatory verse. I still don't know the invocatory verses off by heart. I can tell you if you get it wrong, but I wouldn't be able to recite it for you. I'm very happy. I'm overjoyed to see that some of you have committed some of these verses to memory. It's a really wonderful thing to do. Maybe I should do it too. I'm always misquoting, or I get the gist of things. You see, it's the way my brain works. It's the strategy that Tom's brain has used. And in when we read this verse, there's also some explanatory notes to what some of the terms mean. But what I think is interesting, maybe you could say, is that the power of this quote, you don't need to know actually really what it all means. Again, that's my experience. You hear it with your heart, and it speaks to you in this incredibly powerful way. You don't have to know what it means. Okay, verse 510, Sri Guru Ramana Prasadam. See, this is the gift. Prasad basically means the gift, the offering and the gift from Bhagavan, Guru Ramana. So just as Hester has given us a gift and Demetrius has given us a gift, these are all gifts from Bhagavan. We give to him and he gives back to us. And it's a wonderful bargain. We give him little and he gives us lots. 510. When to the rattle of the three drums and the sound of the three modes of the Tamil tongue, I entered the courtyard of the Lord, who, as my teacher, rested his holy feet upon my head. That king amongst ascetics graciously accepted me as his own kinsman, raising me to that great and noble estate in which I praised him as his devotee. When, to the rattle of the three drums and the sound of the three modes of the Tamil tongue, I entered the courtyard of the Lord, who, as my teacher, rested his holy feet upon my head. That king amongst ascetics graciously accepted me as his own kinsman, raising me to that great and noble estate, in which I praised him as his devotee. Now, there's some footnotes. We don't really need to know what these mean. The three drums, they're saying ceremonially, they're these three drums that are ceremonially or ritually played at a king's court, and they represent heroism, the king's authority, and the display of the king's bounty. The three drums representing these aspects of being a king, these aspects of royalty. The three modes of the Tamil tongue or the Tamil language are prose, verse, and dramatic Tamil. So the three aspects of the Tamil language and the three aspects of royalty or power. And this just gives us more flavor to the verse. It's more evocative. I don't know how you receive this. Maybe some of you are sitting there thinking, oh, this is weird. And some of you, if like me, are like, this is amazing. It speaks in a different way. There's a transmission through the words that is non-literal, but the heart understands. The mind might say, why is a teacher putting his feet on my head? What is this? But the heart, if you listen with your heart, you're able to let go and put your mind to one side and not think this is about subjugation or oppression or power politics or power struggle, and realize this is poetry, love poetry. This is devotional poetry. This is spiritual. This is spiritual transmission. Then we will be able to receive the meaning of what this verse is saying. It's very beautiful imagery, very powerful. For me, at least. Now, my own personal interpretation is that these three drums, the rattle of the three drums are things you move. Yeah, the rattle of the three drums are moving, vibration. So these could be the three karmas. The three karma means action or movement. The three karmas. Or it can mean the three times, past, present, future, you see. And the three modes of the Tamil tongue, the Tamil language. We've said that's verse, prose, and dramatic Tamil. It could be, the three modes could be the first, second, and third persons. So this isn't in the footnotes. This is Tom's own deeper interpretation of, you've got the superficial, ritual, exoteric understanding, and then you've got the deeper, the esoteric understanding. And that's the way I would see it. I don't know if it has any validity, but this is, how you can also interpret it this way. Demetrius, anything you would like to say to us? How does this verse speak to you? Why did you choose to read this to us today?
Um, First of all, I really like what you just said, the metaphors, the three. I'd never thought about them. I'd never tried to sort of crack that code of um like the metaphor of the three drums. I think that's really potent. The three karmas, the moving, just like drums. Um, I and then the three persons, the 3 points of view. I like that as well with the three modes of the Tamil tongue. I just I read this at Satsang a while ago, and I couldn't even get through the first line, which is, you know, the courtyard of the Lord. It's just some beautiful, I don't know, it's so powerful. It's like it's like upon you reading that line and you're entering the courtyard. It's like reading that line is a journey into the courtyard of the Lord, and you arrive on the word Lord and you're in there. It's just so powerful to me. Um, and it's beautiful and it helps me. It's a good aid because I'm visual, and having this anchor, this visual picture in my mind helps anchor me into it. It's kind of stills the edges of my mind while I listen to it. Um, and all the times I've read it here in Satsang, it's been like reading it in a cathedral. Like the acoustics are amazing. You know what I mean? I mean the acoustics. I mean that metaphorically. Just I don't know. I think you said it perfectly. There's a power in this that is not the words. Thank you.
Thank you, Demetrius. Thank you. So, look, we've had a reading from Seven Steps to Awakening, and we've had a read. Oops, there we go. We've had a reading from Sri Guru Ramana Prasadam. Okay. And these two books, in a way, these two quotes we've had today are totally opposite ends of the spectrum in terms of teaching types. And these two books, in a way, they're both on the recommended reading list, but they're in a way totally opposite books to each other. They're both powerful in totally different ways, or not totally different ways, but in different ways. You see, Seven Steps to Awakening gives us very literal way. It describes a very literal method for liberation. It speaks to the mind and the heart. But you can read it relatively literally. Relatively speaking, it's literal. Sri Guru Ramana Prasadam. Many of you will know this is the one book on the recommended reading list that I put on, even though it doesn't fulfill the criteria I specified at the top of the list. But I felt like I couldn't not put it on the list because this book is the one that most closely resembles my own personal experience with Bhagavan. And this speaks in a non-literal way. There are literal teachings in here that are very good as well. But much of it is like what Demetrius read to us, is metaphorical, poetic, and it speaks to us in a different way. And it can be much more powerful than the literal way. And hopefully some of you experienced that today. especially when Demetrius reads it. You know, he has such a connection to the verse. I felt when he read it, more so than when I read it, there's a power that comes through. And just as he was unable to complete the first line last time when he read it to us, when Demetrius read this verse to us, I could hardly speak. It, I could hardly speak afterwards. It just rendered me speechless. So powerful are these teachings that come from the heart. And this is prasad. Prasad means an offering, a gift to us, divine gift, divine offering. This entire satsang could be described as Sri Guru Ramana Prasadam. It's just a gift. It's just like a remnants of a gift that of Bhagavan's presence. Again, I'm so glad that Demetrius has read this verse to us. I mean, he read this to us maybe a couple of years ago, for those of you who are there at that point. I know some of you haven't been coming that long. And he's still with the same verse. I'm sure he's read other things too. But this, you see, staying with the one verse that speaks to you is so powerful. Now, it is true that ultimately we don't need any of these verses. These are all Maya. These are all illusion. These are all to be let go of. But I encourage you, if you resonate strongly with a teaching, a verse, take the time to explore it. The mind wants to move on, you see. The mind wants to move on, acquire something new, acquire something new, acquire something new, acquire something new. But if we can slow down the mind and stick with one thing that speaks to us, and it's carefully chosen, then this will help us greatly. The wonderful thing about this teaching as well is that the path of knowledge conceptually can be very grandiose. I am the self. I am the ultimate. I am the absolute, you see. And this is true and this is wonderful, but the mind can grab hold of these concepts and it can go into arrogance. You see. And a wonderful antidote to this arrogance of the mind, of the ego, this ego arrogance, is letting the guru put his feet onto your head. There's no room for arrogance there. So it's very difficult to be egotistical when you're bowing your head and Bhagawan's putting his feet onto your head. You see, so these two also complement each other beautifully. You see, and we could say they represent the path of knowledge and the path of love, the path of bhakti, and how these two aspects of the path complement each other. You know, the Hester's gift to us, we could say, is roughly the path of knowledge, clear seeing, being without distortion. Distortion and imagination, these are words meaning ignorance. as opposed to knowledge, which is the opposite. Whereas Demetrius's offering to us spoke entirely to the heart. But there is crossover. You'll see both teachings in both these books.